The Institute for Financial Literacy is a collaboration between MoneySense, the National Financial Education Program, and Singapore Polytechnic International. The Institute is the outreach arm of MoneySense. We conduct free and unbiased financial education programs for the public. MoneySense is Singapore's national financial education program set up in 2003 and is currently overseen by MAS, Monetary Authority of Singapore, and MOM, Ministry of Manpower. MoneySense aims to help Singaporeans manage their money well and make sound financial decisions on their own. Introduction to Estate Planning. This is the third video in a series of 3 on estate planning. In this video, we will focus on the lasting power of attorney. What is a lasting power of attorney, or LPA for short? An LPA is a legal document that allows an individual, known as the donor, to appoint a person he trusts, known as the donee, to make decisions on his behalf, should he lose mental capacity in the future. Without an LPA, family members would need to apply to the courts for a deputyship order. To qualify as a donee, the person should be your spouse, family member, or a close friend, someone you trust, someone who knows how to act in your best interests, someone who is at least 21 years old. You can appoint more than one person to act as your donees. You can also appoint a licensed trust company defined in the Trust Companies Act for property and affairs powers only.
You can also appoint a professional deputy registered with the Office of the Public Guardian, OPG.
What decisions can my donee make? For personal welfare matters, your donee can decide where you live, decide who you live with, make day-to-day care decisions, decide social activities you may take part in, handle your letters or mail, decide who you may have contact with. For matters relating to property and affairs, your donee can help you manage your property, that is buying, selling, renting and mortgaging, bank accounts, investments, dividends, inheritance or income, taxes, rent, mortgage and household expenses, CPF funds. While your donee is able to make certain decisions on your behalf, here's a list of decisions he or she cannot make. Consent to marriage, consent to touching of a sexual nature, consent to divorce, consent to adopting a child, adopt or renounce a religion, receive treatment for change of gender, consent or revoke consent to treatment for sexual sterilization, consent or revoke consent to treatment to terminate pregnancy, register or withdraw an objection in respect of removal of an organ from the person upon his death, make or revoke an advance medical directive, make or revoke a gift of a body or any part of a body. When will the powers of my donee be revoked? Here are the conditions under which the powers of a donee are revoked. If the donor or donee dies, if the donee formally refuses the appointment, when marriage between the donor and donee is dissolved through divorce or annulment, unless the LPA specifically provides it will not, when the donor or donee becomes bankrupt, if the donee is a licensed trust company and its license has lapsed or been revoked, if the donee is a licensed trust company and is liquidated, wound up, dissolved or under judicial management, if the LPA provides for donees to act jointly and one joint donee's power is cancelled. Here is a step-by-step guide to applying for an LPA.
Step 1. Complete the LPA application form at the OPG online portal. Simply log in using your SingPass and follow the step-by-step process. Here's what you need to decide and prepare to enter into the system. Donee. Decide who will be your donee to decide on your personal welfare and financial affairs. You can choose to have a single donee or more than one donee. If you choose to have more than one donee, you need to indicate how they will make decisions jointly, meaning every decision they will make on your behalf should be agreed upon by both, and it has to be decided together, jointly and severally. This means your donees can decide together, or either of them can make the decision. You can also set a replacement donee in case the primary donee is unable to fulfill the duties. Personal particulars of donee. Prepare your donee's name, NRIC, and email address to enter in the system. Step 2. Make sure your donees accept their appointment. Once you submit your LPA application, your donees will receive notification through SingPass to log into OPG to accept their appointment. Step 3. Visit a certificate issuer. A certificate issuer can be accredited medical practitioners, practicing lawyers, or registered psychiatrists. Once the LPA is certified, it will be submitted directly to OPG for registration. You will be notified via SMS or email once the digital LPA is registered and accepted. For more information on lasting power of attorney, visit the OPG website.
Transacting with third parties. The donee can only use the LPA when the donor loses mental capacity and has been certified to be incapable of managing his own affairs. A medical report by any registered medical practitioner is required to certify the donor's loss of mental capacity. This report may be requested by third parties when a donee is transacting on the donor's behalf. Should the donor regain mental capacity, the donee must step aside to allow the donor to manage his own affairs again. The LPA remains valid. What if you're no longer around one day? Would your loved ones know what to do? Will they know your wishes? Planning ahead is important, but it might seem daunting for most of us. My Legacy is a service that makes planning ahead easy and meaningful for both you and your family. It helps you to explore, store, and share your end-of-life plans. My Legacy is a Life SG initiative brought to you by the following government agencies: Public Service Division, GovTech Singapore, Smart Nation and Digital Government Office, and the Ministry of Health. Here is the QR code to access My Legacy. Here are the key takeaways. An LPA is a legal document that allows an individual known as the donor to appoint a person he trusts, known as the donee, to make decisions on his behalf should he lose mental capacity in the future. Once an LPA is registered, the donee becomes the proxy decision maker when the donor loses mental capacity. An LPA made before marriage is unaffected by the marriage. The LPA can be amended anytime as long as the donor has not lost his mental capacity. My Legacy helps you to explore, store, and share your end-of-life plans.